A 130-pound black Cane Corso planted himself outside a little girl's bedroom door and refused to move for 72 hours straight. What this family discovered about why their rescue dog was acting this way will make you question everything you thought you knew about the connection between animals and the children they're meant to protect. This is Draco, and this is Stormy, the 6-year-old girl he protected in ways no one understood, until one terrifying night changed everything. 8 months ago, the Patterson family adopted Draco from a high-kill shelter in Atlanta. He was 3 years old, jet black, 130 pounds of pure muscle, with eyes that seemed to carry secrets no one could unlock. The shelter director pulled them aside before the adoption papers were signed. "This dog has been returned twice. He's protective to the point of obsession. Are you absolutely certain you want him around a young child?" Marcus Patterson looked at his wife Keisha, then down at their daughter, Stormy, who just finished her 3rd round of treatment for a severe autoimmune disorder. "Stormy needs a friend who won't treat her like she's breakable," Keisha said firmly. "Maybe Draco needs someone to protect." "Maybe they need each other." Marcus wasn't sold. "That dog is bigger than both of us combined, Keisha. What happens when Stormy has a flare-up? What if he doesn't understand she's fragile?" But Stormy had already made her choice. She walked straight up to Draco's kennel, her tiny fingers wrapping around the cold metal bars. "Hi, big guy," she whispered. "You look lonely. I get lonely too. Want to come home with me?" Draco's massive head tilted, his dark eyes locked onto Stormy's face, and for the first time in 6 months, according to every staff member present, his tail moved, just once, but it moved. Draco came home that Saturday with clear instructions. Stormy was immunocompromised. She tired easily. She had unpredictable episodes where her body would suddenly betray her. The dog needed to understand boundaries, needed to be gentle. Except Draco had his own rules. From the very first night, Draco refused to leave Stormy's side. When she ate breakfast, Draco sat beside her chair. When she watched cartoons on the couch, Draco laid at her feet, his massive body creating a barrier between her and the rest of the world. When Stormy went to bed, Draco positioned himself right outside her bedroom door, like a 130-pound security system that never clocked out. "It's like he's on duty 24/7, Marcus said, watching Draco's nighttime vigil. "He barely even blinks." 3 months into Draco's arrival, Stormy's condition took a serious turn. Her inflammation markers spiked dangerously high. Her doctors admitted her to the hospital immediately. Her immune system was attacking itself, and they needed to stabilize her before it got worse. Stormy stayed in the hospital for 9 days. Draco stood at the front door for the first 48 hours, refusing to eat, drink, or move. He just stared at that door like sheer willpower could bring her back. "This isn't normal," Marcus said on day 5. "The dog is literally falling apart without her." Keisha made a decision. She called the hospital. "Can we bring Draco to visit? Just once. Stormy keeps crying for him." After some convincing and a lot of paperwork, the hospital agreed to one outdoor visit in their healing garden. The moment Draco saw Stormy sitting in that wheelchair, pale and exhausted with an IV line taped to her small arm, something in him cracked open. He didn't run or jump or bark. He approached slowly, his entire body trembling, and gently rested his enormous head on her lap. "I missed you so much," Stormy whispered, her arms barely able to wrap around his thick neck. "I'm trying to get better, Draco. I promise I'm trying." If you're watching this and you haven't subscribed yet, you're honestly missing out on stories that will completely change how you see the bond between animals and the kids they choose to protect. Hit that subscribe button right now. You need to see what happens next. Draco stayed perfectly still for 30 minutes. When it was time to leave, he didn't fight, but his eyes tracked Stormy until she disappeared through the hospital doors. Stormy came home 11 days after she was admitted. She was weaker, slower, and slept almost 14 hours a day. And for every single one of those hours, Draco was right there. But then Draco started doing something strange. Every night at exactly 2:30 a.m., Draco started doing something strange. He'd stand up from his post outside Stormy's door, push it open with his nose, and walk to her bedside. He'd press his nose against her chest, not hard, just firm, steady pressure, and hold it there for about 15 seconds. Then he'd move to her side, press again, then her back. Then he'd return to his spot outside her door. What is he doing? Marcus asked one night, watching from the hallway. Keisha shook her head. Maybe he's checking if she's breathing. But it felt like more than that. It felt intentional, methodical. 3 weeks after Stormy came home, everything changed. It was 2:51 a.m. Draco was doing his nightly check, pressing his nose gently against Stormy's chest, when suddenly he went completely still. His ears flattened, his body locked up, and then he did something he had never done before. He barked. Not a normal bark, a sharp, desperate, urgent bark that shattered the silence. Once, twice, 3 times. Marcus and Keisha shot out of bed and sprinted down the hall. "What's wrong?" Keisha screamed, throwing Stormy's door open. Stormy was unconscious. Her lips were turning blue. She wasn't breathing. Marcus grabbed his phone, hands shaking as he dialed 911. Keisha dropped to her knees and started CPR, her voice breaking. "Come on, baby. Come on, Stormy. Breathe. Please breathe." Draco pressed his body against Stormy's legs, his eyes locked on her face, willing her back. The paramedics arrived in 5 minutes. They intubated Stormy, stabilized her vitals, and rushed her to the ER. Keisha rode in the ambulance while Marcus followed behind. At the hospital, doctors worked for 45 minutes to stabilize her. Finally, Dr. Patelli emerged, exhausted but composed. She had a severe anaphylactic reaction. Her airway closed almost completely. If you hadn't found her when you did, she paused. Minutes mattered. Keisha's voice cracked. "We didn't find her. Draco did." Dr. Patel's eyebrows lifted. "The dog?" Marcus nodded. "He woke us up. He knew something was wrong." Stormy spent another 6 days in the hospital. This time, the hospital bent the rules. Draco was allowed to visit every single day. And every day, he walked into her room, laid his head beside her hand, and just stayed. No noise, no movement, just presence. When Stormy finally came home, Draco resumed his post. But now, everyone understood. Those nightly checks weren't random. The pressing against her chest, her side, her back, Draco had been monitoring her all along. He wasn't just a pet, he was a sentinel. 8 months later, Stormy is thriving. Her condition is managed, her energy is back, and her favorite thing, taking slow walks with Draco, her tiny hand resting on his massive head. "You saved me, Draco," she tells him every night. "You're my hero." And Draco, the 130-pound black Cane Corso, who'd been returned twice and labeled too intense, finally found what he'd been searching for: a purpose, a little girl to protect, a family who understood that loyalty isn't about being convenient, it's about showing up when no one else believes in you. Because sometimes the biggest, darkest dogs carry the brightest hearts, and sometimes the fiercest love refuses to leave your side no matter what. So here's the question. Can dogs sense medical danger before it happens, or is it instinct? Drop your answer below.